Deep Space D-6 Armada, what does it look like when it's played? Come on back after the break. Hey everybody, welcome off the show Board Game Reviews. This is a YouTube channel dedicated to the tabletop gaming hobby, and this video is part of a video series looking at the game of Deep Space D-6 Armada. Now, Deep Space D-6 Armada is a cooperative dice allocation game with a futuristic space theme where the players are in control of a fleet which is trying to defeat a horrible armada, a federation which is trying to basically blow up our galaxy. We're going to work cooperatively to take out this alien presence or this evil federation. If we can manage to defeat them before a certain amount of victory or endgame conditions occur, we're going to win the game. Otherwise, it's going to be a crash and defeat, much like your typical cooperative games. Now, this video is a sample gameplay video where I'm actually going to play a couple rounds of the game so you can see exactly how the game plays. Now, the most important thing I need to tell you about this gameplay video is the game, and I'm going to talk about this in review, does have some problems. And most of the problems seem to stem from the rulebook and from, well, let's just say a little bit of quality control issues. There's an FAQ, there are some stick-ups that you use to correct a couple of the misplaced tokens, and some of the player aids have some errors on it. Basically what I'm saying here is if you're looking at some of this gameplay video and it doesn't match up with the rulebook or does not match up with the player aids, it's probably a very, very good reason for that. There's errors in the rulebooks, there's errors in the play aids. I've done my due diligence to go to Board Game Geek and also go to the publisher designer's webpage and make sure I am playing the correct version of the rules. Matter of fact, to the point I've actually downloaded the the current version of the rulebook with the FAQ, and they're calling it Deep Space D6 Armada version DX or Delta X-Ray. And this actually has the correct, most up-to-date version of the rules, and that's what this video is going to be based off of. So if you see any errors before you say, hey, the rulebook says this, go ahead and check out that FAQ and go ahead and check out this DX version of the rulebook before we go on anywhere. But that's enough of the talking. It's just a really important preamble because I don't want there to be any misconceptions about this video, because I like my videos to be as current as possible for the gameplay videos I put out there. So the first thing we need to do when we're playing this game is we got to do a little bit of upkeep and a little bit of setup. Now, this game is a cooperative game, and I'm going to be playing this game as a two spaceship, or basically a two hero game. We're going to be playing with the Hades and the Dawn's Reach, but the first thing we need to do is one player needs to get the first player marker. Now, I generally don't use the first player marker because this game has a very nice fluid and open turn structure. And the game is played out over rounds, and every round is broken down into 3 different phases. The first phase and the second phase has a very fluid turn order structure. And basically during the first phase, players are going to take their turns in any order they like. The only requirement is that a player has to complete their entire turn before the next player can go. So for example, if we really wanted to, we can make the Dawn's Reach in phase 1 go first, and make Hades go second in the first phase. And in the second phase, we can complete reverse the turn order and figure out how we want to do things. So the game does have a very nice fluid turn structure. So for that reason only, I generally don't use this first player marker. It's nice, but there's really no reason to use it, and it uses a rubber band to keep it together. And I don't like putting rubber bands on components because it does have a tendency to, well, we know rubber bands like to wear out. But the nice important thing about this game is you don't need to use it. And there's one other minor modification I do take to the rules. There are these little green components right here, which are basically used for the shielding in the game. I think they're kind of superfluous, and I'll show you exactly what I mean when I'm playing the game, and I'll explain to you how I do it differently, but I basically don't use those. Those are basically the 2 little modifications I make when I play this game, and I do it for simplicity and just because I don't think you need them. But let's go ahead and go to the setup now, because that's what you're all here for. You're here for gameplay video. Now, the basic way and the flow of the game is we're going to be playing, trying to unlock these data chips right here. Now, again, in the modern FAQ for the game, the DX version of the Q, or the FAQ, we're only going to need 2 of these data chips to figure out exactly what kind of ending we're going to have. And the 2 data chips we're going to use on a little chart in the rulebook, and that's going to tell us one of the multiple different endings we're going to have when we play this game. So we're either possibly going to get these randomized, or we're going to be asked to pick up a specific data chip out. And again, once we've located the second data chip, that's going to be about pretty much the end game trigger condition that we're going to need to bring about the end game. But other than that, we want to keep those face down because sometimes we're going to have to draw them randomly, and we don't want to know which ones we're picking because, again, that influences the endings we're going to get. Next up, every single player needs to get 5 crew, and your crew are represented by these dice right here. And you're going to gain extra crew as you're taking extra actions. Now, again, the modern version of the FAQ says you can have a maximum amount of crew. And since I'm playing a game with 2 ships, the maximum amount of crew we can ever have active is 7. We're going to always have more crew on our ship, but the most we can ever have for any kind of missions is going to be 7 on our away crew. You know, 1 captain, 6 red shirts. Well, if you ever watch Star Trek, you know what I'm referencing here. But basically, we need to make sure that we're getting 5 crew, and we need to make sure that every single one of our ships is going to start with 2 credits. After that, next thing we want to do is figure out exactly what difficulty level we want to play on. The average difficulty level is we're going to include 2 don't panic beacons or distress tokens in our bag, and that's the average difficulty level. Next thing we need to do is we need to place the 00 over here on Terra, which is going to be signifying our very first prime distress beacon that we need to deal with when we're playing the game. Now, do note that this card does have a misprint on it. Even though the front of the card does not list us as a prime directive or prime objective, I should say, do note that this is definitely a prime away mission, which means that you cannot complete any non-prime away missions as long as you have at least 1 prime away mission in play. So we do have this 1 prime away mission in play. That means that is 1 mission that we have to go ahead and take care of. Next thing we need to do is, since we are playing a 2 starship game, that means the game is going to start with 1 extra distress beacon somewhere on the board. And this is going to be drawn randomly from the bag right here. We're simply going to reach inside the bag and we're going to draw out 1 random distress token. We're going to go through our event deck, figure out exactly where this is going to start, and it's going to give us basically our next objective. So we're going to draw distress beacon number 88. Now, I didn't show this in the setup, but do make sure that you're not adding the extra distress beacons in the bag, which is basically 00, 99, and also 80, which never start in the bag, and I'll explain that in the setup video. If you're looking for setup and all that good stuff, check out the other videos in the series. This is a total gameplay video only. So we've drawn number 88. That means I need to go through the event deck, look for event number 88, and figure out exactly where that event is going to start and what its requirements are, and find out if it's going to be a prime event or not. We'll look at the front here. We'll get some thematic text, which I'll do my best dramatic reading of right now. 8-8 Terra. The Federation is deploying massive low-altitude airships with enlistment propaganda. Find a way to disable them and take back the skies. This is a non-prime event, which means that I cannot do this event until I've taken care of all prime missions. We know, like I said, there's already 1 prime mission in play. That's the 00. But this one basically requires us to draw a threat detected card every single round this event remains in play. And we need to solve it in this order. If we win, we're going to get 3 credits. If we fail, we're going to go ahead and spawn some extra threats. So I definitely want to make sure we take care of that as quickly as possible. That is our starting event. I have all the upgrade tiles in this nice shamrock bag right here, which my wife is always nice to give me all these from her knitting that she loves to do. So it's always nice to have those extra bags, especially for games like this. The only thing left to do now is to put both our ships out here on Terra Prime. All spaceships always start out there on Terra Prime. I just need to make sure I put our 2 distress beacons out there just like that. That's basically the setup for all of our players. We are now ready to start with the very first phase of the very first round. So first things first, we're going to start with the planning phase, because every single round starts with the planning phase. And the first thing we need to do is figure out which one of our players wants to go first. Now I'm going to go ahead and pick the Hades player to be the first player, and I have a very good reason for that. And you'll see why in just a second. So the very first thing that Hades is going to do, one of their first of their 2 actions, is they're going to trade with Dawn's Reach. Now anytime you are in a space with another spaceship, you're more than welcome to trade anything. You can trade credits, you can trade modules, and you can help the other player out quite well. Again, this is a cooperative game. Now, unfortunately, we don't want to take our second action because we want to stay on Terra Prime so we can help the Dawn's Reach complete the very first task that we're going after, which is getting rid of first deployment. Because remember, as long as there's at least 1 prime away mission on the board, we can't do any secondary away missions. And I definitely want to take back this prime, or get rid of this away mission as quickly as possible, because as long as it stays in play, we're going to have to deal with lots of threat detected. And remember, the more threats that are out there, the more difficult our game is going to be. Now that we've finished the move for Hades, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go and take the turn for Dawn's Reach. Now, Dawn's Reach, their first action they're going to do is they're going to go ahead and visit this way station right here. Now, when you visit a way station, it allows you to go ahead and possibly hire some hero cards. And when you take the action, you're simply going to draw the 3 hero cards from the top of the deck. You're going to look at the hero cards, see if any of them you can afford, and you can buy 1, 2, 3, or none of these hero cards if you like. Now, I'm going to play with a little bit breaking of the rules right here, and I'm just going to say this right now so you understand I am breaking the rules right here. Generally speaking, anytime you purchase a hero card, any hero cards that are not purchased are supposed to be shuffled back into the hero deck. I'm not going to do that here because I want you to see as many of the hero cards as possible so you get some good idea of the amount of powers and the amount of abilities that you see with the heroes. The real rules say that any cards not purchased are going to be shuffled back in. I'm going to break the rule just for the fact of this gameplay video, and any heroes not purchased, I'm going to discard. Back to the bottom of the deck again, just to cycle a deck so you see lots of good gameplay. But we see that we have Rome, we have ZZ22, and we see we have Kisaragi. We can actually afford all these because they have a cost of 3, 3, and 4. Can't buy all of them, but we can definitely afford every single one of them. And we're going to see that they're going to give us a couple different benefits here. We see that Rome has a pretty good amount of variety on his dice. We see that ZZ22 has not a lot of variety on his dice, but he is really good at getting gears. Now, getting gears could be really good because we said this event, Take Back the Skies, does require us to roll at least 2 gears before we can move on. So he might be good for what we have right here. But he's going to be a little bit of a one-trick pony, kind of pretty much right here. Kind of going to shoehorn us in what we're going to do. Next up, we have Kisaragi. He does have a lot of variety in his dice. He can be really good for combat. So it's basically going to come down to the powers of all these heroes that they're going to get. We see that Relay allows us during the encounter phase. You may resolve multiple distress beacon tokens on the same turn. That's awesome. That's powerful. Next up, we have Self-Service. You may take the configuration action at any location during the planning phase. Really good, but more of a late phase, late game power, not going to help us too much in the beginning. And finally, we have Lock On. At the start of every single combat round, you may choose to lock any one crew member on their current side. That can also be really, really cool. But I'm actually looking at Rome. Rome is going to give us the ability that we need that's going to help us for our shields a lot. And you'll see how important shields are here very, very shortly. This guy is really good for being really offensive. And if it was Hade's turn right now to actually be buying, I would go with Kisaragi, but since it's actually Dawn's Reach, I'm going to go here because of the extra ability of our shields. So now that I've figured out which hero we are going to purchase, I need to make sure I spend his cost. His cost is going to be 3 credits. Let's go ahead and discard 3 credits, and we will add Rome onto our crew. Only thing we need to do now is go ahead and find his die, and I do believe this is going to be it. We have symbol, matching up. Yes, matching, yes, matching. Okay, he is going to be added to our crew right there, and we'll put him off to the side, letting us know that he is now part of our crew. We do have 1 action left over. I'm not going to do it because, again, we want to stay here and we want to take care of these stress beacons. And that's what we're going to do right now because we are going to move into the second phase, which is going to be the encounter phase for our first round of the game. So during the encounter phase, we can pick which one of our heroes is going to activate first. Sorry, I shouldn't say hero, I should say which one of our ships. And I think we'll start with Hades. We're not going to do a cooperative tactical mission here, because if we do that, that means that we cannot go after the second one. And again, I want to take that second one out as quick as possible. So that means that basically Hades is going to go first, and Hades is going to do the very first thing is he's going to take care of first deployment. And this does require us to go ahead and get a success with a combat symbol. So we'll definitely want to make sure that we get that taken care of as quickly as possible. So let's go ahead and take care of Hades. We are going to roll all of our crew dice, and let's hope for some success. And we are not going to get any success at all, but the nice thing is, since we got the medic symbol right here, whenever we're doing an away mission, if we get at least 1 medic symbol, we can re-roll all of our dice all over again. And I think that's what we are going to do. So let's roll again, and we are looking for a combat symbol. And come on, Hades, you're supposed to be known as the combat ship. You should be, yep, there we go. At least we got 1 combat symbol. So we see that we got the combat symbol. We will place the combat symbol right here on first deployment, signifying that first deployment has been conquered. So since it's been conquered, that is going to end it for our away mission for the Hades player. We will take this and we will discard it, signifying that we have completed this mission right here. We'll simply remove the token right here because it's not going to be a thorn in our sides anymore. That's it for the Hades player. Now let's go over to Dawn's Reach. Now Dawn's Reach would love for Hades to help them. Unfortunately, Hades has already taken their action, so they cannot help them this round. So basically, Dawn's Reach is on their own in an effort to go ahead and take back the skies. If we fail to do so, we're going to draw a threat detected card. And not only that, it's also going to keep spawning threat detected cards. So we definitely want to make sure we take care of this as quick as possible. So let's go ahead and roll our dice for the Dawn's Reach. And again, we are looking for 2 gear symbols. If we get it, whoops, cheating a little bit there, giving us extra shields. If we succeed, life is going to be good. Or I could also get 2 guns because this is not a card that requires us to complete it in a specific order. So let's see what we get. Well, we didn't get any symbols we need, but the positive note is we did get at least one medic symbol, which means we can roll again without losing any of our dice. So let's hope for better luck this time. And we will get Hey, we got 2 gears. This is actually fantastic. So let's place our 2 gears down there. And since we managed to get 2 gears, that means we can re-roll the remaining dice without having to discard a die for additional rolls. Hey, things are looking up for us. Maybe a positive. Maybe we're going to take out this mission really, really quick. So let's go and roll our dice and... Oh, nice. I got 2 guns. So we will move this over here, show that I didn't get any more guns, but I definitely got 2 attack symbols. So let us go ahead and take these and move them right there to signify that we have completed this mission itself. So my dice are actually rolling really well today. We have completed this away mission, and this away mission allows us to get a reward of 3 credits when we succeed. So we are back where we started right in the beginning for the Dawn's Reach with 4 credits. So we don't have to worry about the failure. This card is succeeded, or we've succeeded at the card. We don't need to worry about it no more. So let's go ahead and remove it. And now let's go ahead and go on to the end of the round where bad things get to happen. So first things first, we're going to add 1 distress beacon because we are playing effectively a 2-player or a 2-ship game. So let's reach in and we will get distress beacon number 36. So let's go and look at our event deck for distress beacon number 36, and we will get, again, in our most dramatic reading. So first, let's put this over on Kagawa. And 3-6. In order to protect the future of the galaxy, the light of hope must be kept burning. It's a hero's duty. Flip that over and we will find that this is a standard away mission, and that's a good thing. We don't have any prime missions left over. That means we can go after this one. It is a away mission to find a hero. If we succeed, we're going to recruit the top card of the hero deck for free. Nice. If we fail to do so, we're going to remove this card from play. Not quite as nice, but if we succeed at this, that's going to be nice and awesome. That's actually a very, very cool one. Next thing we do is we need to draw threat detected cards. Now remember, like I said, there's errors in the game. In a 2-player game, you actually draw 2 threats detected, not 1. So if you're looking at that, understand that's an error in the card. So let's go ahead and draw our first threat detected card, and we will get a new fleet threat detected in Terra. Create a new fleet of 2 enemy ships at Terra, so we're going to go ahead and draw 2 ships for Terra. And we'll make this, let's go and make it number 1 to signify we have ship fleet number 1 hidden right here on Terra. We don't know what it is, but it's probably going to be nice and horrible, and I'll just slide over just so I can see it's going to be exactly 2 ships. Our next threat detected will be reinforcements on Luna. Add 2 enemy ships to all fleets at Luna, or create a new fleet of 2 enemy ships at Luna. Let's go ahead and take a number 2 for Luna right there, and we will draw 1, 2 enemy ships again. Going to stagger it just a little bit so I can see it. There are 2 ships right there on Luna. That's it, going to be it for our threats detected. I will go ahead and discard those just there, just like that. Now we need to look to see if there's any active hazards in play. Since we only have 1 away mission right now, it does not list any active hazards. That's basically going to be it for round number 1. It's going to cycle things back and go ahead and start round number 2 with the very top of round number 2, which is going to be our planning phase, where our players get to figure out exactly what they're going to do to take care of these actions and these enemies which are quickly appearing. So let's start with the planning phase, and this round, let's go ahead and start with Dawn's Reach, and let's go ahead and give a friendly return to Hades' original friendly gift to us in the beginning. Our very first action of 2 is we are going to go ahead and give all 4 of our credits over here to the Hades ship. Then for a second action, we are simply going to take off and we are going to fly over to Kagawa. Sorry, not Kawagawa, Kagawa. And the reason why we are going to do this is because we are trying to stay ahead of these away mission beacons as much as possible. Remember, if there's ever 5 on a planet, we instantly lose the game. So that's going to be it for the Dawn's Reach player. We've done our 2 actions. Now let's go ahead and go over to the Hades player. I think since we have 4 million credits, we have 2 options. 1, we could fly over here to the moon, buy some upgrades from the shipyard, or 2, we can stay where we're at right now, go ahead and visit that way station, and then figure out what we're going to do depending on what kind of results we get. Let's go ahead and see exactly what we're going to do here. Let's go ahead and see if our 1 action of hiring some heroes is going to work out for us. So let's go ahead and look at the hiring action for us and see if we can gain a couple of heroes which are going to work out perfectly for us. First hero drawn is going to be Sakani. Second hero we will draw will be Piotr Drolov, or is it Orlov? No, it's Drolov. Of course, my abilities to speak foreign languages is pretty horrible, so don't quote me on any of these. And Hercule, or Hercule. Yeah, Hercule. Let's just go Hercule, just because it sounds good. No S, just Hercule. So we see that we cost a 5, 4, and 3. Well, we know we cannot buy him at all, so let's not even look at him at all. So we have Sakani and we have Piotr. Vigilance. Whenever one of your crew is sent to the infirmary, gain a shield. And he's very offensive. Kind of nice, especially since we're about to go into battle here. Next thing is going to be Stimulus. When in combat with a fleet larger than 4 enemy ships, gain 2 rerolls. Well, that's nice, but we're not quite at that point yet. And I see that Sakani is going to work very, very, very nicely with the Hade ship, because any offensive tactical dice that we apply are going to be doubled up in our guns. So he can effectively be 4 attack for us if we roll that right die. Of course, he has a 50-50 chance of pretty much just straight up missing. So it's a little bit of a gamble. Thinking a little bit smarter though, this could be the better option. He basically has a 1 in 3 chance of giving us an attack, although he has a 50-50 shot of giving us attacks. So he's basically going to be a one-trick pony. It's a one trick that's really good for Hades. Or over here, which is going to give us a lot more options. This is actually a tough decision here. I think, well. It's a tough call. Both of these actually could be really, really darn good. I'm actually liking this one because he has 3 things that can help us. This guy is definitely going to be a one-trick pony. Yeah, I'm just not liking that. We'll go ahead and take this one right here. So that means we are going to go ahead and discard 4 of our credits. I will take this hero and they will be added to our ship. Although I'm really thinking that Sakani would have been the better choice here. But, you know, they say hindsight is definitely 20/20, especially in these kind of games. So let's go and add him to our crew, and he's now part of our crew, and that is our first of our 2 actions we got the Behades. Now I can stay here, or I can fly over to Luna and take out that ship right there. I really don't have a reason, well, don't have a terribly great reason to do so. I mean, it could be good, but the only problem is once we go to Terra, Terra is basically a dead end. Terra does not connect to any planets. I'm sorry, Luna doesn't connect to any planets except Terra. Nice thing about Terra is I can go anywhere, which keeps my options much more available to me. I think we are simply going to stay on the planet Terra, and that's going to end our planning phase for both our players. Now we get to go to our encounter phase, and now I get to decide which one of our heroes I want to activate first. I am thinking that we are going to activate the Dawn's Reach first, because if we get that free hero, it's going to be really darn cool for us. So let's go and activate the Dawn's Reach ship right now. So let's gather up our dice and let's roll our dice, and we will get, well, this could be cool, but unfortunately it's not as cool as we want it to be. So here's the interesting thing. Whenever we have these box outs like this, we can only complete 1 box out per roll. So even though I technically have 2 successes, I can't complete both of them. So let us go ahead. You only have 1 though, so it's not really going to matter right here. Let's go ahead and complete that one right there. And since we completed at least 1 of our sections, we get to re-roll all of our dice again, which actually works out quite beneficial for us. So I'm looking for a medic, a medic, a medic, a medic, or a medic. And we will get none of the above. So since we failed, we now must take 1 of our dice and remove it, and we can continue to roll with our remaining dice. Let's see if we're going to get lucky with our remaining dice. Looking for a medic symbol, and hey, we did get our medic symbol. So let's put our medical symbol down there just like that. That'll signify that we have completed this mission right here. The nice thing about this mission is once it's completed, we'll get rid of that token right there. And since we've completed this mission, we're going to look at the reward. It says success. Recruit the top card of the hero deck for free. Get rid of that, and we will see that we get Havoc. We can all agree we'd just be angry if we were also put in cryosleep for 200 years without warning. Yeah, probably. No time to explain. Sequence away mission sections may be completed in any order. That's actually very powerful. He is actually an extremely offensive guy, maybe in more ways than just one. So let's go ahead and find his die, which is going to be one of the red ones. The interesting thing about Havoc is I actually think Havoc is going to be much, much better to be on Hades than to be on the Dawn itself. So I'm thinking that we are going to send him over to the Dawn, or we're going to send him over to the Hades ship as quick as possible, because Hades can definitely take advantage of the extra guns and the extra firepower that he does offer. So right now, he is part of our crew. Remember, the max amount of crew we can have active at any time is going to be 7 crew members. That's it for the Dawn's Reach player. Now we get to go over to Hades, who's going to do a combat. So we're going to look at our 2 fleets. We're going to pick fleet number 1, and we're going to hope that we are going to win a battle versus fleet number 1. We have 2 ships involved in this. Interesting. So We have a Federation and a Federation fleet. So even if we win this fight, the most amount of credits we are going to get out of this fight is 1. We have somebody who doesn't have a lot of shields but has a lot of hull. And then we have somebody with a lot of shields and not a lot of hull. The unfortunate thing about this ship right here is 1, 2, 3, not that bad. If I roll a 4 though, unfortunately that does mean that he's going to keep powering up his shields along with shooting me. This guy is basically going to do energy damage or energy damage. Not too terrible, but that's enough of what could happen. Let's go and start the combat here. So the very first thing we are going to do for a combat is roll our dice, and, well, that actually looks pretty darn decent. We'll have a gun and a gun. And the nice thing about having the guns like this is, well, actually, I got 3 guns. So the nice thing about the guns here is they all get to apply to the guns over here. Thanks to our ability over here, it says use in a station, tactical use in a station may be shared with station number 2. The really cool thing about the Hade ship is if you get a really powerful gun in both of your slots right there, you can really start doing some really good damage and taking out these fleets very, very quickly. So I need to target a ship with my guns. So I have 3 damage right here. I know that's going to take out the Sentinel, so I'm definitely going to go ahead and do so. Now I'm going to show you how I do damage in this game without using those little green little circular cubes. I put all shield damage across the bottom, and then I put all hull damage across the top of the card because I don't care about the name of the card. And to me that makes sense, and it works out a lot better than using those little green little tokens. It seems superfluous. I don't use them. So that is my first shot of my gun. Now I got the extra ability right here. It says used, tactical use in station number 1 can also be used in station number 2. So that now means I have 3 attack power in station number 2. Which is all going to be directed at that siren, which is going to be 3 points of damage. Now that is only going to hit its shield, so not terrible, not good, not bad, but hey, we're doing some really cool things. And I know I've at least managed to take out the Sentinel. Now the way the rules work is if you don't have a quick firing weapon, the ship does get a chance to shoot back. So let's go ahead and figure out what the bad guys are going to do to us. The negative about the Hades is we don't have a lot of shields, so hull damage is going to be a very possible negative for us very, very quickly. Well, let's go back to the old dice box because that's just more fun. We will roll and we will get a 2. Now it's 1 die for all ships in the fleet, so we're going to start with this ship right here. We're going to see that a 2 is going to be 1 energy damage, which is going to drop our shields from 2 down to 1 for our shields. We're going to see over here a 2 is also going to be 1 energy damage, so that's going to drop our shields from 1 down to 0 shields. We actually still have hull, so it's not too terrible for us. We're actually looking okay. Now we get to go ahead and apply our permanent damage. So since that has enough damage to take it out, this Sentinel is going to be destroyed. I'll place it right here sideways. Remind us that we're still going to get some scrap resources out of it, but we still got to take care of that siren. And that siren is going to be taken out, hopefully, in round number 2 of this combat. Let's go ahead and roll and not drop dice. And we will get, well. Not great, not terrible, not great. So let's go ahead and apply this right here, and we have no offensive power at all. But nobody in the infirmary, so that's kind of a good thing. So let's go ahead and gain 1 to our shields, because that's about all we can do there. And now the siren gets to shoot back at us. Okay, so we will get a 6. And we'll look over the ship right here and we'll see that a 6 does absolutely nothing to us. So let's go and start combat round number 3. Combat round number 3. I just need 1 tactical. I also need to make sure my dice all land in the box. Exuberance can be a bad thing. Okay, that was not that good. I really have nothing that can be assigned. I have nothing to apply the gears to. I have nothing to assign the medical to, and I didn't really get anything that I needed. So now the bad guy gets to cause me possibly some pain. And we'll roll a 1. A 1 says they're going to do 1 energy damage, so that will knock our shields back down to 0. This is going to be a slugfest. I can feel it. Come on, tactical. It's not listening to me today. The good news here is at least I can repair my shields. So we will assign this die right here, which will repair our shields by 1, and I'll assign this die right here, which will repair my shields by 2. So our shields are actually back up to full. So that means the worst it can do is do damage to my shield. So let's see what it's going to do for this combat round, and we'll roll a 6. Nothing again. Okay, gather up all of my dice, because nobody's in the infirmary yet. And let's see what we have here. It's literally just a slugfest. My shield aren't hurt, so nothing to spend. It'll roll a 4. Finally, we will take 1 point of energy damage. That brings us down to 0 again. I really don't want me to just be rolling dice for like the next 30 minutes because that's going to get really, really boring really quick. Of course, that's what... No, haha, got a gun. Okay, so just to show you how things work out. It'll be a shield, putting us back up to 1. We don't really need to do this because of the way the combat rules work. But I will get a 1 point of damage right there. I will assign the 1 point of damage right here, which will be applied to the hull. And just for grins, I could assign another point of damage, but it really does nothing because there is something in the rules that say you cannot over damage something. If you do enough damage to take it out, that's all the damage you're going to do. So all of our crew are going to be returned. If we had any damage to our shield, we would go ahead and repair our shields, and let's go ahead and get rid of this entire fleet. But first, we must figure out exactly what kind of rewards we're going to get. So the amount of rewards you're going to get is a little bit interesting how this game works, but you're going to take the most highest value ship of every single type, so Federation, Mercenaries, whatever, and that's what's going to give you the amount of money. Since both these ships are Federation, we're going to pick the one Federation ship that's going to give us the most amount of credits. They're tied, so it doesn't really matter. So out of all this slugfest, all we are going to get is 1 million credits. But we managed to destroy 2 enemy ships, so we're pretty happy. We've done a good thing, and that is basically it for both of our players. Our Dawn's Reach has done their 1 action for the encounter phase. Our Hades player has done their action for the encounter phase. Now the nice thing about doing combat is if there happens to be any distress tokens or distress beacons, that's what I'm looking for, we can now attempt to do 1 distress beacon, but there are none, so our turn is effectively over. Now we get to go to the resolution phase. So for the resolution phase, the very first thing we are going to do is we're going to see which new event is going to be added to the board. And again, it's only 1 event, 2 threats. So we will reveal number 37, 36, and 37, going right in order here. So it's on Luna. That's good because I think that's where we're heading next. Dramatic reading time. This is not a prime beacon, so I don't need to worry too much. 37. A wellspring of valuable crystals has evaded all forms of scanning and detection. Scientists believe the crystals could greatly enhance stealth technology. Well. So this is actually going to be a very challenging one to complete. This one has to be completed in order from top to bottom. It's going to be requiring quite a lot of dice to do so, and I need to finish this section before we go to this section, before we go to this section. This is an encounter that we want somebody who has lots of dice to at least try. Good news is we're going to get 3 credits if we succeed. The bad news is there's going to be a threat if we fail to do so. So this isn't exactly a terrible mission that's going to require us to have lots of problems piling up if we don't go for it immediately, except for the one ending condition. If we have too many of these distress beacons, these away missions are going to pile up and we are going to lose the game. So now that we've done that, let's go ahead and draw our 2 threats. Again, error on the card, don't pay attention to it. Threat number 1 is going to be reinforcements in Invictus. We have no ships there anyways, so we're going to create a new fleet of 2 enemy ships in Invictus. So 1, 2, and we will just go ahead and make this number 1 again since number 1 is available. And we'll put that over on Invictus. And then the next threat detected is going to be Kagawa. That's interesting. That happens to be where the Dawn's Reach happens to be right here and right now. So that actually works out pretty good. So we're going to create a new fleet of 2 enemy ships on Kagawa. So we're going to go 1 and 2. And let's keep these piles nice and neat because tidiness is important. And let's look for, hey, I do have 3 available. So let's look for a 3 and then a 3 right there. Now we will go ahead and see if there are any active hazards in play. There are no active hazards in play. So that's the end of round 2. It's going to start round number 3. And in round number 3, we need to do our planning and figure out exactly what we want to do. I am thinking, which is a good thing, we always want to be thinking, that I want to get Havoc over to the Hades ship as quick as possible. Plus, we want to take care of that crystallized cavern as quick as possible. So, what that means is Dawn's Reach is going to go first. Dawn's Reach is going to activate. Actually, we'll just do this. I'm not going to deliberate because this is a playthrough video. This is for you to all see, have fun, see the decisions that are involved in the game, not to sit here and deliberate for 5 hours on exactly what I want to do. 1 space of movement. We're going to do a trade action, and we're going to say, hey, Havoc, I hear over on Hades they get to attack lots of things, make things go boom, explode, explode, boom, explode, boom, quite a bit. And then Hades is going to say, hey, would you like some money? Dawn's Reach will say, sure, love some money. And that's going to be the end of Dawn's Reach. First action was move, second action was to trade. Let's go over to Hades. Hades is going to fly over to Terra right here. And that means that we are going to have a combat and we're going to have an encounter because we get to move to the encounter phase. So during the encounter phase, Dawn's Reach really can't do anything, so let's pretty much pretend they don't exist for this encounter phase. And let's go directly to Hades, who very first thing they need to do is they need to encounter this fleet right here. Let's go to reveal, and the very first ship we will encounter here is going to be the Gallant. Not too terrible. It has 2 hull and 1 shield. Second one we are going to encounter is going to be a cube type called the Save. Any ships that did not activate this round recover 1 hull. So it's going to be doing repairing. The good thing about this is we have a Xena and a Federation, which means that if we take both these out, we're going to gain 3 credits instead of just the 2, because remember, since they're different fleets, they're going to pay for us. Here's the bad thing. If we roll any 3s or 4s, that's going to be kinetic damage, which is going to hit our hull directly. That means I want to take the Gallant out as quick as possible. The negative is that he's going to do some repairs. So let's go and plan and plot and be as very smart about this as possible. And let's see if we can go ahead and do lots of damage in this combat. We will roll and looking for anything but that. So, out of all that, I got 1 gun. Well, gosh, that's not very impressive, especially when we have 7 dice to roll. But hey, it's all part of the fun. So, gravity's really strong there, don't drop things. So we're going to do 1 point of damage, and since I assigned 1 damage there, my second gun can also shoot. I can pick a different target if I like. I am thinking that I don't want to do that. I want to take this Gallant out as quickly as possible, so I will do my 1 to the shields, 1 to the hull, just like that. Then the bad guys get to retaliate. So let's see what the bad guys are going to do. We roll a 5. So he does nothing, which means that enemy ships that did not activate this round recover 1 hull. Since he did nothing, because I rolled a 5, that's not on a list, he will repair 1 point of his hull. And since I got a 5 here, that does nothing also. So technically it would repair itself, but that is not going to happen because it's not damaged at all. Let's go ahead and start round number 2 of this combat. Let's hope it's a little bit more impressive. Tactics. Lots of tactics. Well, I got a command. And hey, I got a decent amount of tactics, not too terrible. So I'll have 1 tactic to go right there. I'll have a second tactic to go right here. And I'm going to get a command symbol. Now, command symbols are basically wildcards. They can be used for anything I want them to be used for. And I think right now I definitely want this one to be used for combat. So that means we're going to do 3 points of damage. So I'm going to fire my first gun at the Gallant, which is going to do 1 to the hull, and a second 1 to the hull. Now, even though I did 3 points of damage, remember in the rules, you can't over damage something. And you're going to see why that's very important, especially when it comes to repair actions. But let's go and do our second gun, which is going to be Lancer number 2. It's also going to do 3 points of damage to this cube type vessel. Now let's see what they get to do back to me. I will roll a 2. He will do 1 energy damage to me, which is nice. I'll be happy to take that. And then we'll look over here at a 2. So here's where we see how this can be very interesting and when we follow the flow of events for combat. I rolled a 2. Since there is no 2 on its effect, that means it is going to recover 1 hull. Because enemy ships, including itself that did not activate this round, recover 1 hull. So it is going to repair, which means that we are not going to win this battle. But we are going to take out the Gallant, which is something I definitely wanted to do. And we'll simply place it over here to the side. Remind us that we are going to get some scavenge money for defeating the ship in just a moment, hopefully. So let's take our dice for round number 3 of the combat. Thinking tactically, thinking tactical, fire photon torpedoes, whatever quote you want to use. And, well, you know what? I got to reference photon torpedoes a lot more often. 1, 2, 3, and finally 4 points of damage. And, well, could I repair a shield? Nope, didn't roll any shield repair, so we're not going to worry about that. That is going to give us 4 points of damage, which is going to put a 3rd point of damage right there. I could fire my second guns, but nothing's going to happen. So now I need to roll for the cube save. I need to roll a 1, 3, or a 6. If I roll a 2, or a 5, or a 4, it's going to repair itself, and we're going to have another long, drawn-out fight here. I hope that doesn't happen. We'll roll a 4. Hope dashed. Okay, next round of combat. It's kind of like the Borg. They just keep repairing and repairing and repairing and repairing. Well, I got one gun. That's all I needed. So I'm going to do, well, actually I got tons of shields, so I might as well use it. So let's go and use our shields, just for grins, because we got them. So, point of damage. Can't do the extra point of damage, so roll well. 3. Okay, this is what I needed. So we're going to do 1 energy point of damage to ourselves. It is not going to do its sub-repair routine, so it will be defeated, which will make us nice and super happy. So since we defeated the ship, let's go ahead and get our rewards here. So the very first thing we need to figure out is if all these ships belong to different fleets, and they do. So we'll gain the total amount of money reward for this. We gain 2 credits here, and we will gain 1 credit there. Our shields will auto-repair. We don't have any hull damage, so things are looking very, very good for us. These 2 ships are going to go to the scrap pile. That is going to be it for the combat. But remember, you're allowed to activate 1 distress beacon per turn, so let's go ahead and do an away mission also. Now, this away mission doesn't look super easy, but if I succeed, we're going to get a lot of credits. If I fail, bad things are going to happen. We're going to spawn some threats. Don't want that to happen. So let's go ahead and do some rolling here, and let's hope we get what we need. Okay, we have medic. Oh, we have that symbol. Oh, that's actually pretty darn good. So I could use this symbol right here, but this symbol is a wild card. I want to use this for basically anything, especially since we got the gears we need right here. So let's go ahead and do 1 gear and a 1 gear symbol right there. And that means that we completed the top half, and that means since we successfully completed a full box, we don't need to discard any of our dice. Now, I would love to be able to use this die right here, but remember, every time you complete a box, you cannot assign any more dice. It's part of the rules of the game. So let's go and roll and hope that we get the symbol we need, and we did. Hey, things are looking actually really darn good for us. So that is that symbol right there, and since I completed a box, and since I got a medical symbol anyways, I can keep rolling without having to sacrifice any dice. I need 1 more symbol to match. And hey, got 2 of them. We have succeeded. We have completed this mission right here. So let's go ahead and gain the rewards for completing that mission. So we're going to see that we're going to gain 3 credits. Let's go ahead and grab 3 credits. This away mission is taken care of and conquered. Let's go ahead and remove this from the board. That is basically it for this round for all our players. Let's go ahead and go to our resolution phase. So for our resolution phase, we get to draw a new encounter, or new event, I should say, and we will get event number 31. Or is it 3-1? It could be 3-1 because that's actually what the card says. So Titan 6 is where 3-1 is going to go to. Luckily, we see that Dawn's Reach is in a position to go over there, and there's even a way station. If we have some money, we can do some shopping when we're done. That actually would be very, very, very cool. Dramatic reading time. On the outer rim of the galaxy, a wormhole has appeared. Report to location observed. This is no place for curiosity to get the better of us. Event. The edges of space. Place a time counter on this card. At 4 times, this event results in a failure. Ooh, this one's timed. Here's the challenge. The only person who can complete this mission is the Hades ship, because it's the only one that has the 1 single die result that we are required to get. If we fail, we're going to gain 2 threats. This is almost worthwhile to say this is a mission that it may be too hazardous for us to try, although it doesn't have to be completed in order. It's possible. It's not impossible. Definitely going to be a challenging one. The unfortunate thing here is that we know that the Hades ship does not have the ability to get there in 1 round. Well, let's worry about that when the time comes, because we're about to go over to the threat phase. First threat card, Invictus. Add 1 enemy ship to all fleets in Invictus. Well, we do have an enemy ship fleet there, so we are going to add a third ship there, which that means I think I know exactly where Hades needs to fly to. Next thing we're going to get is our next threat detected, and it's going to show, wow, add 1 enemy ship to all fleets in Invictus. That is about to be an extremely nasty fleet over there with 4 ships in there. And the way money works, it may not even be worth a lot of money by going there. So that's going to be nice and challenging. Okay, well, we know what we need to do. We know what things are looking at for us. Now let's go ahead and look at the hazard that's going to happen. So we're going to place 1 hazard timer on this thing because it says every single hazard phase, and that's what we're in right now is a hazard phase. So we basically only have a couple more rounds to make sure we take that out. That's the end of the round. Let's go to the next round and we will start the planning phase and figure out exactly what we want to do with our players. So for our planning phase, we really do know what we want to do. The Hades player wants to get all this money over to Dawn's Reach. Dawn's Reach wants to fly over there, use that way station. Actually, we got a way station right there. I don't really need to do that, but we want to attempt that event as quickly as possible. But basically, we want to get all this money over to Dawn's Reach so Dawn's Reach can maybe get some crew members, and crew members are going to help us get rid of this challenge, which, like I said, is pretty darn tough. Right now, Dawn's Reach cannot complete this. This is impossible. The only one who can do it is Hades, but Hades needs to get over there as quick as possible. But here is something to think about. I have a very large fleet of enemies I need to take out. I have no modules on my ship right now. It would almost be possibly a better idea to go ahead and buy some modules for our ship, hope for some upgrades, then fly to Invictus, try to take out that large fleet there. That's something to also think about. But I'm trying to stay ahead of these because the trick of the game is we're trying to get through these before they pile up. Because if we get the right ones, we're going to get those data modules. And if we get those data modules, we're going to see the end game condition and figure out what we need to do to defeat the Federation in this game. So, lots of talking. I think I know what I'm going to do. First option we're going to do is fly to Terra. Second option we are going to do is we're going to take all this wonderful credits, all this wonderful money we have, and we are going to trade it over to the Dawn's Reach. That is going to be a heck of a lot of money. Do I need to put all that over there? That's 7 million space bucks. I think we're going to do that. That is our second action for our planning phase. That is basically it for the Hades player. Next up, we get to go to Dawn's Reach. Dawn's Reach is going to, I think we're going to go to the way station right here. Let's just stay at the way station we are at right now, and let's go ahead and see if we're going to get some good heroes. Because if we don't get the right heroes anyways, it's pointless to fly even to Titan anyways, because we're not going to get what we need. So let's go ahead and draw our hero cards and see which heroes we are going to get. First one is going to be 0, from 0 to hero. Next one we get is the Leo Ranger. Go Leo Rangers. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Next one we're going to get is Rose. Okay, these are actually all really cool, and unfortunately all cost 5, so I can't buy multiples. If I would have got like a 3 and a 4, I could have bought 2. So 0 costs 5, Leo costs 5, Rose costs 5. 0 has the autocratic power, so 0's crew may ignore any threats when failing away missions. That is awesome, because that away mission right over here, we look at the edges of space, says if we fail, we are going to have to bring out 2 threats. I can pretty much right now set up the Dawn's Reach as my effective ship that's going to go out there and take care of all of my distress beacons, while I make the Hades player be the ship that's going to go out there and get rid of all these enemy fleets. It's a good strategy. I'm kind of playing my strategy and figure out what we want to do. That's cool. But the Leo Ranger is basically, it's almost going to be impossible for him to fail the edges of space mission, because I have a 1 in 6 chance of failing this. Those are really good odds. But if for some reason I fail it, 2 threats are going to come out. At least with this, I can't fail it. I mean, I can fail, but worst thing is going to happen is I'm just wasting time. She's cool, assigned crew, memory again, blah, 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 blah. Really cool. I'm looking at these 2 guys. 0 or Leo Ranger. 0 is a legendary cybernetic soldier, now augmented beyond recognition. He commands soldiers with cunning zeal. A masked hero who believes human life is more important than even space, or than even peace and justice. He's totally the Red Power Ranger. Totally the Red Power Ranger. Okay, I'm thinking I'm going to go 0, just because of the ability of autocratic. Says 0's crew may ignore threats when failing away missions. That's just almost a no-brainer for me. So I'm going to go ahead and spend the 5 million space bucks to go ahead and get autocratic, and that is going to be our hero that we are going to add. Of course, that's going to cost me 5. Let's go ahead and discard our 5 space bucks right here. And now we have 0 as part of our crew. So I need to find his die, which is going to be one of the blue dice. And I do believe it's going to be that one right there. So the only minor quibble I have with these dice is there's kind of a pain to hunt down the right die. Not terrible. Kind of a pain, but not terrible. So we will add him to his crew, because remember the max amount of crew we never have is 7. I do have 1 action left over. And for that 1 action, we are going to sail over to Titan 6. Once we get there, we know that we can take care of that. Fortunately, Hades is not in a good spot right now because we really would have loved to take out one of these fleets, but that's not going to happen. So it's going to go ahead and go to our encounter phase. No combat this encounter phase, but the good news is we definitely can take out, hopefully try for this. So let's go ahead and figure out what is going to happen. Let's go ahead and start rolling our dice for this encounter. Okay, so we rolled not terribly, but we also didn't roll great. So I'll put this right here. I have no medical symbols, so I now must discard a die, which is effectively going to go into the infirmary. But unlike combat, I can't get that die back by spending medical symbols. Medical symbols just give me rerolls. That's the difference between combat and doing away missions. So let's roll again, and oh, we got the gear. So since we got the gear and we completed a full box, that means I can roll again without having to discard a die. So things are looking good for us. Come on, 0. From 0 to hero. Okay. Infirmary time. Pressure's on. Okay, we got it. So we have 2 command symbols. We technically only need 1, but it's still going to be enough for us to complete that. So all of our crew will go out of the infirmary. We don't need to worry about the crazy green Gorgon creature on planet XYZ that attacked our ship. We have completed the edges of space right here. So we will see that the edges of space here says that we gain 1 credit for completing it. Not the greatest of rewards, but hey, that's still 3 credits, and we don't need to worry about this card clogging things up anymore. Let's go ahead and remove that from the game. Let's go ahead and end this encounter phase and go to the resolution phase and draw. Man, we haven't gotten any prime missions yet, except for the very first one where I was supposed to name my fleet. I named the fleet the Nameless, because I actually forgot to do that in the beginning for the thematic purposes. We are the Nameless Fleet. So 3-4 goes on Titan 6. Convenient. We're on Titan 6. 3-4. A risky trade deal threatens the relationship of humans and synthetics in Sector 7 mining colony. Provide assistance to the trade negotiations. This is a away mission, Sector 7 trade deal. Build a barrier or escort. Well, this looks like a very heavy combat thing. So I think I know where Hades is going. So let's place that right there. And let's go ahead and detect some threats. Now these threats will start piling up if I don't take care of them. And create a new fleet of 2 enemy ships in Terra. So there. And threat detected number 2. Threat detected. Create a new fleet of 2 enemy ships at Terra. Well, that's interesting. So let's go ahead and use number 4 for this, and we can see what happens when the fleets really start piling up on us. So this is a fleet of 2 enemy ships, and it's also going to be on Terra. So Terra looks like it's having a little bit of a rodent problem, a rodent called the Federation. So we don't have any threats in play. That's it. That's the end of the round. So let's go and start the next round with our planning phase. And we need to plan very, very well here because we have lots of good options. I am actually thinking that what we're going to do is we're just going to leave our players exactly where they're at. Because I don't want these horrible, horrible fleets to start piling up because they become very, very painful. Because if you didn't read or read, you want to read videos? Hey, it's interesting. Anyways, if you don't watch my tutorial video, you may not know, but you cannot do any away missions on a location if there's at least 1 fleet there. You have to destroy all the fleets before you do the away missions. So if you allow these fleets to start piling up, you can't get to the away missions. Remember, if there's a 5th away mission on a planet, you instantly lose the game. So Hades is going to stay here and take out these 2 fleets. Hopefully I get enough money to start also upgrading my ship, because I'm going to go from here, and I think I'm going to go over to the Zenith one, which will allow me to start buying some ship modules if I get some decent amount of money. And then what I'm also thinking about is having the Dawn's Reach stay right here. We're probably going to get a little bit of money, putting us up to 5. I think we're going to fly over here to this shipyard, and hopefully get some upgraded modules for our ship here. So that's kind of my thought process. So having said that, we're basically going to have a very quick planning phase. We're not going to do anything. Staying here and staying right here. Yes, I could do 2 actions, but there's nothing we need to do really badly, so let's go ahead and do our encounter phases. So for the very first encounter phase, let's go ahead and start with the Dawn's Reach. Why? Because I want to. And we're going to do the Sector 7 trade deal. Now for the Sector 7 trade deal, I need you to build a barrier or escort. Let's see how the dice treat us. I'm actually thinking that the tactical is going to be the best way to do it, because otherwise I've got to complete every one of these boxes individually. And one of my dice doesn't even give me the gears at all. So let's hope we do tactics. So we're going for tactics. Oh, we got it in spades actually. So the smartest way to do this is going to be going for the tactical. Now this die right here actually does the complete thing all by itself, because we have 2 of the command symbols right there. And that means that we have completed that section completely. So the nice thing about this is, since this mission is completed quite easily, 0, you are a hero. Even if you're some crazy skull floating in a jar, you're still cool. So we have completed this mission. That means we are going to gain 2 credits. That puts us up to a total of 5 million credits. We will remove this back into the box, and let's go and pop that off the board right there. Now let's go over to the Hades player, and the very first thing we need to do is attack one of these fleets. Just for grins, let's go ahead and pick fleet number 2 first. So fleet number 2 is going to be our first target. Nice thing about fighting fleets, though, is if you defeat the first fleet, if you feel brave, you can keep fighting and fighting and fighting. Fleets are different than the actual away missions, because you only do 1 away mission per turn, but you attack as many fleets as you want to take the chances for. So what do we have here? We have a Mirage ship, which has got 1 energy damage, and it also does 1 shield to all the fleet ships. Interesting. And we have another cube type ship, which is going to be enemy ships that did not activate this round recover 1 hull. Well, we got a 4 damage and we got a 3 damage. Although the cool thing is we're going to get 4 million space bucks if we take both these guys out. Let's go ahead and take these guys out very, very quickly. And I don't mean out to the ball game. Oh, that's actually a great start. No, decent start. Yeah, decent start. Let's go ahead and assign that just like that. And I don't have anything else to do. My shields are fine. Yep, we're good. That's about it. That's all we're going to assign. So let's go ahead and assign some damage. So I have 2 points of damage twice thanks to my twin link system. I will do 2 points of damage to the shields, and then I'm going to do 2 points of damage to the hull. Now the reason why I'm doing this is because this ship only doesn't activate on a 6. So as long as I don't roll a 6, we're fine. And that means that it will not be saved by the cube type ship itself. So let's go ahead and roll and see. The pain we will get is a number 3. So number 3 says 1 shield to all fleet ships. Okay, you can get your shield back. It's not going to matter because your hull is damaged. You have no damage on you at all. And a 3 over here says that you're going to do 1 energy damage to me. Yeah, I can live with that. So that's going to go down to 1. Since you still have 2 hull damage, guess what? You now have what we like to refer to as a hull breach, which means you are now the exploded. Okay, let's go ahead and grab up all of our dice and see what kind of pain and misery we are going to cause to the enemy. Well, the dice are definitely feeling very offensive in a very offensive way. So I am going to repair 1 shield, and then let's do some damage. 2 points of damage twice because of my twin linked guns. This is going to be a total of 3 hull damage because you do not have any shields. You are going to roll to see what you're going to do, and hopefully you're not going to recover your hull because we don't want that to happen. Roll to 6, 1 energy damage. Okay, that means we're going to go back down to 1. We're okay with that because guess what? You have been defeated. We will take this ship and we will put it over in the scrapyard, and then we'll figure out a total amount of resources we're going to gain. We're going to gain 4 million space bucks because 3 for the Xeno plus 1 for the Federation is going to be a total of 4 million space bucks for a Hades player. That fleet is defeated, And if I want, and I so definitely do want, I can keep attacking fleets. Let's go ahead and attack that second fleet right here and right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab fleet number 4 because that is the next fleet we want to take out because we are going to continue. So we have the Kabuto and we have the Sentinel. Doesn't sound too terrible. Make sure I regain my shields at the end of my last fight because your shields always recharge at the end of every fight. And, oh, that was about a bunch of nothingness there. That was about as exciting as watching paint dry. So we fired our lasers at absolutely nothing because we were trying to say, warning shots across the bow. I don't know why we shoot warning shots across the bow because it's not smart. Anyways, they're going to shoot back. And we will get a 3. A 3 does mean nothing over here, but a 3 means here, do 2 energy damage. Wow. And if your shields are at 0, you start doing kinetic damage. Well, that puts us down to 0 shields. That's kind of exciting. Shields are at 0, 1 kinetic damage. I basically need to take you out at one fell swoop. Do better. Okay. Well, hey, we got better. A little bit better. So, 1 shield, 2 shield. Don't have anybody in the infirmary, so don't need to worry about that. We got 3 damage right there. And those do nothing for us right now. So let's go ahead and figure out what we're going to do. I think we're going to take out the Kabuto, although I could take out the Sentinel and then kind of hurt the Kabuto since it's going to do that to us anyways. So let's go ahead and do repair our shields by 2, and then we're going to do 3 points of damage. So the very first point of damage will be 1 to your shield, 2 to your hull, because this is going to matter. And then our twin laser shot is going to allow us to do 3 more points of damage. We'll do 2 to the hull, and then we'll do, 2 to the shield, 1 to the hull, which means that ship is not going to blow up. And it also means that it's about to do kinetic damage to us. Okay, maybe, what did we get? We got a 6. So that means it does nothing to us. Ha! Life is good. So we got a 6. That means he's going to do 1 energy damage to us. So we'll lose 1 shield. And he will be destroyed at the end of that. So let's go ahead and do that really quick just to speed this up quite a bit. And then I rolled a 6, which means it does nothing. So we're going to go to another round of combat. Round of combat, begin. And, well, that looks kind of nice. We'll do a gun and a gun, and we will repair our shields by 1. And the Kabuto will do a 5. Come on down, 5. Okay, number 5, which means that it does absolutely nothing to us. I'm sorry, obviously I did the damage to it. 2 times it was 4. It's enough damage. I should have did that. It does its thing. It dies. We win the fight. That's what happens when you try to get ahead of yourself there. So, since these are both Federation ships, we are only going to get 1 million credit out of this, even though we just defeated 2 ships. They will be defeated. We will put them in the enemy ship discard pile. Our shields are back at full. Our crew returns to ourselves. And now, that's basically it. That's the complete round. Let's get rid of these 4 tokens. And let's go ahead and go over to the resolution phase. So, for resolution phase, first thing we are going to do is draw our distress beacon. 85. Hey, we're starting to get into the higher up numbers now. 85 is going to be 85 Terra. Good thing we're already on Terra. And this is going to be a prime one, even though it doesn't say prime away mission on the front. Hey, it's another card that has an error on it. Oh wait, no, prime event does say it on the bottom. Hello, I gotta look at the right spot. Okay, a cosmic anomaly is destroying crops on the polar regions of Terra. Attempt to discover the cause and help save the crops. Since this is a prime event, I have to complete this SOS Terra before I complete any non-prime away missions. The good news is we're going to get 2 credits when we complete it. The bad news is, actually no, we're actually pretty good at these kind of missions. So that may actually be a good thing for us, except we know we want to go do other things. So let's go ahead and add some threats detected. First, threat detected. Threat detected, new fleet on Zenith 1. It's going to be a fleet of 2 enemy ships on Zenith 1. That's convenient because I think that's where we are going to be heading, is to Zenith 1. Second threat detected is going to be... So Invictus is the planet that is probably quickly falling under Federation control because this threat is going to be 3 ships. Wow. 3 ships. Creating a fleet of 3 ships of Invictus. Well, well, well. I'm thinking that when I fly to Invictus, I better have all guns blazing because it's going to be one heck of a hot time. So there are no hazards in this round, so let's go ahead and start the next round of the game here. And now I need to start really thinking about what I want to do or what I really need to do because things are piling up on us very quickly. You are good at science type stuff, so I could come over here and take this out and give you money to boot, so that way, yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I already know what I'm doing. This is going to be an easy one. You are going to fly over here, and then your second action is you are going to donate all of your money over here to Hades, which has got to start being the ship that's going to start attacking. The Hades, well, that's both your actions. Hades, for its action, 1 action is to fly over here. Its second action is to go to the shipyard. And now we get to see the shipyard action. So for the shipyard action, we are going to draw out 3 modules. And we're going to look at the 3 modules, and we're going to hope that the modules are worth a darn, because sometimes the modules, well, they're all good for their purpose, but they don't always work out great when you want them to. Sometimes you get modules you really don't need. And right now I need guns. Lots and lots of guns. So we'll pull out and we will gain a Legrand Sabre Ultra. We will gain, well, not gain, we potentially gain an increased shield capacity. And then finally we can get an AI Core 2.0, which gives us rerolls. So this is actually pretty darn cool. So the cost, let's look at the cost so we can see exactly what we have going on right here. So the AI core right here is improves your ship's computer's core, allows your crew to maximize efficiency. Basically, you gain rerolls, which is always a nice thing. The Lagrange Sabre Ultra is going to cost us 8, but it's going to give us 5 energy damage. That is going to basically allow us to take out anything. Wow. That is just absolutely awesome. The only trick is it has to be assigned medical, which I have slots for it. I'm actually okay with this. And then we got the barrier type X shield, increased shield capacity, which means I would get rid of this right here, opening us up to having a total of 4 shields, which could be nice. But I am thinking I'm going to go for the glass cannon route because I don't think I have much more money. 2, let's see, 4, 6, and 8. Yes, let's go for the glass cannon route. So we're going to buy this module right here, and we will slot it in right down here. And now this means that anytime we roll a medical symbol, we can, instead of sending it using the access of the infirmary, we can use that to do a heck of a lot of damage. Now, obviously I'm not going to apply it here because that gets rid of our twin link system ability, and I have an open slot, so that's actually the smartest thing to do. That's it. That is going to be it for our planning phase. Let's go to our encounter phase. First of all, let's put these back in the bag because any ones not drawn always go back in the bag, and let's shuffle that up really darn nice. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to our encounter phase. So let's do the encounter phase. What do we want to do? Let's do SOS Terra first. So Dawn's Reach is going to activate first, and Dawn's Reach, can you handle the SOS that Terra has sent out? Let's find out. Well, yes, we can handle the SOS that Terra sent out because we could do it this way, or we could do it this way. Either way, we have handled that SOS without even breaking a sweat. That's what happens when you have James T. Kirk at the helm. So, we gain 2 credits. This will be discarded. We will remove this event, and that will be it for that prime event. Don't need to worry about that anymore. Let's go over to Hades, which is going to fight fleet number 2. And we are ready to go ahead and go to Invictus and destroy all those fleets very quickly. Let's see what we got here. We have a Oni and a Starian 6. So the Oni has 4 hit points, 2 hull, 2 shield. The Starian 6 only has 2 hull. But when it's destroyed, it's going to do 3 energy damage to every ship involved in the fight on my side. So this is definitely not a fight I want to bring friends to. It's also not worth any money when we take it out. So what a pain. Luckily, we got our energy guns. Time to do some damage. And, well, not too bad actually. So I will assign this right here. Now do note, since we have the box, that means we can only assign 1 die per round for 5 damage. Let's go ahead and do the 5 damage here really, really quick, which is only going to be 4 damage. 2 to shields, and then 2 to the hull. And now let's go ahead and assign our gun right here, which will be 1 damage. And then it'll twin over to our other gun, which will also do 1 damage. None of these other symbols help us at all because we don't have any need for them. We are done. Let's figure out what the bad guys are going to do to us. We will roll a 5. Send 1 unit to the infirmary. Okay, you get to go to the infirmary. I'm sorry, life is horrible for you. You got a 5, which means you do nothing. But when you're destroyed, you're going to do 3 energy damage. This is actually going to hurt us. We're going to do 1, 2, 3 points of energy damage. We now actually have hull damage. The good news is, though, that we win. Our guy comes out of the infirmary. Our shields go back to full. These are all destroyed. And let's go ahead and gain 2 credits. 2 credits. That's going to put us at a total of 4 credits. This is actually looking really good. We are actually managing to keeping the fleets of the Federation at bay pretty darn good. I know I just jinxed myself by saying that because now we get to go to the resolution phase. Resolution phase, we will draw out 95. 95 is going to be at Invictus. Good news, we got to go to Invictus. Scouts have identified the construction zone of a massive planetary weapon. Probably because that's where all the fleets are, you think? Death Star. Find out what information you can. Let's hope it will prepare us for what's to come. Ooh, this one looks like it's extra, all kinds of fun. But we are going to get one of our data cubes. If we fail, we're going to bring out a threat, and we're also going to take 2 points of hull damage. Well, I think I know where our ships are all going for both of our players. So this goes to Invictus, right? Did I say Invictus? Yes, Invictus. So let's go see if we can take out the Death Star in Invictus. But before that happens, we got some threats which are going to come out. Threat number 1, reinforcements at Titan 6. There's nothing there, so create a new fleet of 2 ships at Titan number 6. Second threat detected is going to be Titan 6. Add 2 enemy ships to the smallest fleet at Titan 6. Well, so there's only 1 fleet there. I guess the smallest one also happens to be the only one. Here for convenience. Okay, so that is going to be it. We do not have any hazards to deal with because we've actually been doing really good keeping up with the away missions here. We've been doing a darn good job of keeping them down and in check. Let's go ahead and take care of that horrible fleet that's amassing with their Death Star. New round, and I think this is going to be the final round of the playthrough because I'm pretty sure you've seen more than enough gameplay of the game to get a rough idea of how the game plays. But let's go ahead and finish this final round of the game. So the first thing that we are going to do is, I think the Hades is going to activate first. And we are going to see if we can repair our hull. Because we do have 1 point of hull damage. And I don't want to go in this battle with hull damage because we see that we have lots of enemies to deal with. It's not really going to be fun for us. Not at all. So, let's look for some gears. And we didn't get any gears, but we did get the command symbol right there, which we can effectively use as a gear, which will allow us to repair that 1 point of hull. We got a really good crew going right now, and the crew is doing a fantastic job. They're earning every one of their space bucks that they're earning today. Second action is we're going to fly over to Invictus. because we see a big bunch of problems are forming on Invictus. So now we get the Dawn's Reach. Dawn's Reach, let's see here. I think you are just simply going to fly over to Invictus also. I do have one action left over. I think I'm going to take that last action to spend 2 space bucks over to the Hades, and I'm hoping I can get another really nice module on it, because if we win next round, we're at a shipyard. We can definitely add some module upgrades to our ship. That's it. Let's go ahead and go to the encounter phase. I think we're going to start the encounter with Hades, because Hades wants to take out those fleets. We have Fleet 1 and Fleet 4. So let's see if we can be Fleet of Feet. That joke sounded funnier in my head. I don't know why. First thing we got is the Kuwagata, the Hawk. We got a Gallant, and we got, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. So we got a Junker, a Xena, a Federation, and a Mercenary. That means we're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 space bucks when we take all these out, because they're all different ships. Lots of potential damage here, though. But we also have the potential to do lots of potential damage. I don't like that kinetic damage. I don't like that hull breach. I don't like that hull breach. I don't like that hull breach. Hull breaches are bad. Basically, when you get a hull breach, modules are going to be sent offline. You all need to... Wow. This is going to be fun. Maybe not in a good way. Well, you will be 5 points of damage. You're definitely going to guns. You are definitely going to guns. You are dead to me, meaning you do nothing for me. Don't need shields. Nobody's hurt, and you're dead to me because you did not pull your own weight. So, 5 points of damage. I need one of these ships gone. I am thinking the Gallant needs to go away, or the... I can take out 2 ships. I can definitely take out 2 ships. These 2 ships need to go away very, very quickly. So, for the 5 points of damage, which is just going to be 3, we'll take 1 to the shields, 2 to the hull. Then for 2 points of damage to the hull, reciprocation, 2 more to the hull, which brings it to a total of 3 hull damage to that Junker. They are going to be defeated at least, but let's see what kind of nastiness they are going to cause to me. I don't want a 4 or 5. 3, 4, or 5. I do not want a 3, 4, or 5. And this is what happens when the dice do not listen to you. So let's go ahead and resolve this right here. So, a 5. 1 energy damage for each enemy ship in its fleet. Ouch. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Send 1 unit to the infirmary. Okay, you're going to go to the infirmary. Nothing. 2 hull breaches. Ouch. Let's go ahead and resolve those hull breaches really, really quick. This could be absolutely painful. This may be the worst time for this to happen. I don't see any rolls that are going to be nice to us here. Well, we got a 1 and a 6. That means that is offline. That means you get to go to the infirmary. And that means that this is also offline. That is really, really painful. Yeah, that's going to be painful. Painful, painful, painful. The good news, though, is that you are defeated. You are defeated, so we don't have to worry about any more hull breaches. But gosh, that is just going to hurt. Okay, so with our remaining dice, this is going to be a close one. Okay, so I will assign this to the infirmary to pull all 3 of these guys back out. I will assign this right here to repair 1 shield. And I will take this to take this no longer offline because, yeah, painful right now. So, that's that. Let's hope I can survive another round. Okay, let's see what's going to happen to the bad guys doing their nastiness to us. A 5 again. Wow. So there's 1, 2 points of damage. Send a unit to the infirmary. Well, that infirmary is just getting really, really packed really, really quickly. Come on, guys. We need to take out some bad guys. Okay, so that, I mean, might as well. Ain't really doing much for us otherwise. You do nothing, so let's go ahead and assign our damage. I think the Kawagata needs to go away. So there's 2 to its shields from here. The twin link system is going to do 2 to the hull. Please not another 5. Or 6. So 6 is nothing here, but we're going to take 2 ion damage. Now ion damage only does damage to shields. I have no shields. So that's good because our hull was getting really, really low. Okay, we have this, and this. You are defeated. I'll leave those damage dice there just for a second. And now, let's see if we can take the Hawk out. Well, we're going to take the Hawk out. So this is going to be 4 damage. These all do absolutely nothing for us. So we'll do 2 damage, 1 and 2. 2 more damage. We can't over damage a ship, so he's going to be defeated. You get to retaliate, and we will roll a 3, which means that you are going to do 2 more points of ion damage. Again, ion damage doesn't hurt us because we have no shields. Okay, we have successfully won the fight. Now you can see how the game can actually be kind of nasty sometimes. We've been having lots of luck early in the game, but now our luck is kind of stabilizing. So that was fleet number 1. That is now defeated. We are definitely not going to take out fleet number 4. I don't even think we're going to go for fleet number 4 because we're just hurt really, really badly. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 million space bucks. Let's go ahead and take the 5 million space bucks. Yeah, that's just looking painful. The good news is we took out a fleet. The bad news is we are really hurt really badly. Shields will come back online, and I have 3 hull, 2 shields. Do I go for it? Well, I could go for it. I mean, I could go for it. Could go for it. I mean, you know, you only live once. Just 3 or 4. It's only 3 ships, right? It's only 3 ships. It's only 3 ships. We have our shields. We are the mighty last argument of kings. I argue that... Okay. Well, darn. Oh my gosh. Wow. Well, you could see what happens when we get blown up really, really badly. Yeah. We're going to get blown up really super, super badly here. This is going to be painful. Let's hope luck is on our side here. Okay. Hey. Well here. Okay. Here is going to be 5 points of energy damage. I need to take out basically everything we're fighting here. So we are going to apply the 5 points of damage to the Kawagata. I will do 2 here, and I will do 2 more here. I don't like its ability to do massive amounts of damage. I don't like the cyclone either. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5 points of damage. No shields lost yet, so this is going to be pointless to us. So we have 5. So I could take out the Osiris, which isn't doing much. It's actually doing no damage to us right now. So I'm thinking, wow, if I only had 1 more hit, I could just been like the last Starfighter, just entered the, you know, the ultimate sunbeam power attack, where that was from the movie was. So 5 points of damage, and I get to do this twice. Sadly, it's all going to go against the Cyclone, I think. Yeah, so we're going to do 5 points of damage. Actually, no. Wait, hold on. Use a station might be shared with station 2, because I got assigned to different targets. If I do this, will that make a difference? Because then I'm going to do 3 to something, and then I'll do 5 to something. Wait. This could work out differently, because this is tactical use in station number 1 may be shared with station number 2. So if I do this right, I could actually efficiently use my dice. So I could do 2 damage here. And then 2, no, that's still, let's go. Still not doing anything. Because you have to assign different targets with your guns. Why am I overthinking this? Oh, I know why I'm overthinking this. I could have actually did this a heck of a lot better. Actually, you know what? I can do this a heck of a lot smarter. That actually is smarter. So instead of doing this like this, I'll take the 5 points of damage right here, and I will apply 3 to shields, and then I will apply 2 to the hole right here. I'll take this one gun right here to do 1 point of hull damage like this. Cool, right? We destroyed that ship, right? And then we can assign this over here to 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, I think this is the same result, isn't it? It is the same result. I'm overthinking something that is not going to make a darn bit of difference. I think either way I get the same results. I'm still destroying 2 of the ships. That is going to be it. Now let's see what kind of pain they are going to cause us. I really don't even want to look. This is going to be painful. Don't look. Don't look. Gotta look. Don't look. Don't look. Okay, this is 6. So, well, it's actually probably one of the better things we could have rolled. So 6 says 3 energy damage. So 1, 2, 3 energy damage. A 6 does nothing here, and a 6 does nothing here. So out of everything we could have rolled, that was probably the absolute best thing we could have rolled for us. Both of these are going to be destroyed. Boy, Hades, you're definitely earning your crew bucks this turn. Now we got this Osiris to deal with, and we have nothing in the infirmary. Can we take out this big old nasty gun before this big old nasty space station takes us out? I really hope so. All guns on tactics. Or shields? I guess actually shields would probably be smart too, because we don't want to be blown out of the water. So 1 for a shield, 2 for a shield, and hey, there's 5 points of damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see, 4 and 5, just like that. Let's see, 2 for 2 points of damage. That's all we need to do, right? Hey, we don't need to share anything, even though we had lots more damage dice available. So let's not assign those damage dice, and let's see what the Osiris is going to do back to us. 5. That is going to be, I believe that's a 2 energy damage for every single time symbol on this card. There's no time symbols on it, so guess what? You actually do 0 damage to us, and we win. Hooray for the Federation Slayers, because that is going to be us as the great, mighty Federation Slayers. Okay, so our shields go back to full. Our shields are not damaged, fortunately. Let's go ahead and gain some money for doing this. So Federation, oh wow, they're all Federation ships. That is just brutal. All that damage on our ships, and all we got were 2 space bucks out of it. Oh well, part of the fun, part of the challenge. So discard pile for you. Ship fleet number 4 is out of it. Time to go to Dawn's Reach, and luckily Dawn's Reach can go ahead and try to win that away mission. Let's hope, because that's going to give us the token we want. We need those data mine or those data chips, because that's how we're going to get the victory condition for our game. So now for the Dawn's Reach player on their encounter phase, we are going to go ahead and try for Along Comes Thunder. Now remember, the nice thing about these is since we don't have to finish this in any order, and we have 0, we have, okay, let's see what we got here. Wow, that's actually a great start to things. Unfortunately, we cannot complete multiple missions or multiple sections, although I could not complete. Is that going to be smarter? No, it's not. We will go just like that. Next up. Well, darn. Definitely going to do that just like that, but now we have to remove one of our dice, which means I need to succeed right here, right now. Otherwise, we're not going to do anything. I literally have to win right here with 1 roll. So we basically have 3 dice left to try to accomplish 2 more tasks. Let's hope we can make it, and, well, just accomplish 2 tasks. Now I need to figure out which one I want to actually finish here. Logic tells me I should pick that one, and now we need to hope for 1 medic symbol. If we get 1 medic symbol, we're good, and we win this task mission, and we'll be very, very happy. And we did it. So, slide that out. We will see that we got 1 medic symbol, and that means that we did complete this task. We have 1 die left over. This guy technically was in the failure pile, but we've completed the task. We will put our crew back over there. This will be removed from the board as a finished task, and then we get to look at a reward for our success. So, that will allow us to gain 1 of the data chips right here. So let's go ahead and grab all the data chips. And we will gain this one right there. We simply look at the data chip and see that it matches. Put the rest of them face back down, because again, there are random ones we will get sometimes, and we have completed 1 of the tasks. If we get our 2nd data chip, we will go on to the final mission, and the final mission is judged by the rule book. There's multiple different missions in the game, different things. They're very thematic, kind of different ways that things can happen. And no spoilers here, but they're not what you think. Some of them are big battle stations, some of them are very epic fights, and some of them are things turning on the ear and playing just a little bit differently. But I think you've seen enough video footage of this game to see exactly how the game of Deep Space D-6 Armada plays. If you have any comments, questions, make sure you leave them down in the YouTube comments down below. I will definitely get to them as quickly as I can. And also feel free to email me at off-the-shelf board game reviews. That's otsbgr@gmail.com. I will do my best to answer your email as quickly as I can. Remember, this channel is 100% sponsor fee free. All these games are purchased. They're not donated to me or given to me by the companies to review their games for them. I am 100% sponsor free, so you can help keep the channel growing strong by tossing $1 over in the tip jar over on Patreon. Patreon.com/OTSBGR can just help me cover my costs and help keep the channel going strong. If you enjoyed the content, you enjoy the videos I put out there, click that like button, click that subscribe button, and as always, thanks for watching.